Next up is Barrett. I can't think of another black person in Final Fantasy. And let me tell you, Barrett was a stereotypical brother too, which people love to call back to. I actually used Barrett as my healer when I think Aerith was gone. Whoa. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Brett Show. Thank y'all for coming back. And for all of you who are new here, thank y'all for tuning in. And ladies and gentlemen, we got a good one today. I know y'all seen it in the title. It's a Final Fantasy VII character tier list. Not gonna lie, the reason why I'm doing this is because Final Fantasy VII Part 2, the remake, the trailer for it just dropped. It's gonna drop in February. But some people are a little upset that some characters are not playable characters, which I guess I understand, but at the same time, for all of you who played the source material, which I'm guessing is majority of you, you understand the fact that Final Fantasy VII has a lot of content, a lot of characters, a lot of everything. So when you bring it to PlayStation in this fashion, you won't be able to bring over everything, because it seems like they're making some big, huge changes to the story for this remake, and personally, I'm all here for it. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. And we'll start with the most controversial person that started this whole tier list, Vincent. Vincent Valentine will not be a playable character in Part 2 of this remake, which I guess is something, but considering that you could play the whole first game without even meeting him, let alone playing as him, I kind of see it as forgivable. Red 13 wasn't playable in the last game, but now he's going to be playable in this game. So that means in Part 3 of the remake, there's a good chance that Vincent will be playable. So I'm not going to hold that against him in the remake. The actual character, though, he's kind of the indirect reason why the whole story even happened. Because if he just, got his girl back and stopped simping, then, this whole thing would Sephiroth would have never been born and all that other junk. So I'm gonna have to knock him down a tab for that. So where would I put the most controversial person that started this whole idea of a tier list in the first place? I'm gonna put him at B. You know what I mean? He is skippable. He is optional at the end of the day. I'm gonna put him at B. Next up, I kind of name dropped him in the Vincent explanation, but next up we're gonna go with Red 13. And I apologize if I call Red 13 Red 9, because when I was a kid playing this game, I always read the Roman numerals as 9, so I thought he was Red 9, but he's really 13. That's a dumb moment. I can't believe I said that in public. But another misconception with Red 9 is, as a kid, I always thought he was a dog, but apparently he's a cat. I'm low-key tripping. But to be honest with you, I like Red 13 at B. That puts him on scale with Vincent. A is going to be hard to attain, and S is going to be nearly impossible to attain. As a matter of fact, let's search out for the S characters right now. Get them out the way. Tifa. Lockhart? Man, her floor is an A. Okay? Is she an S tier character though? Not gonna lie, Tifa did make the final battle for me. And of all female protagonists in JRPGs, RPG, Square Enix, and Final Fantasy games, Tifa might be up there, and she's top 2, and she might not be 2. She ain't really had no cool abilities like that, no cool materia. She just used straight hands. I'm gonna leave her at A, but with the possibility of getting bumped up to S. So I tried to search out for an S tier character, and I thought I found one, but I didn't. So let's go with the actual S tier character. S is for Sephiroth. But yeah, come on. I mean, like, Sephiroth is amazing. In the remake, he was amazing. Even though that wasn't, the real him, that was clones of him. Spoiler alert, I guess. But he made appearances in Super Smash Brothers, and he was the villain of all villains in, what is that called? Kingdom Hearts. I had a brain fart. So in terms of S tier characters, he is up there. Not only is he one of the best video game villains, he's one of the best video game boss fights. So from a character standpoint, he's amazing, but from the battling standpoint, he was amazing. Unless you count Safer Sephiroth as a separate character. Which I would not. Spoiler alert, but how many main villains in video games are killing off important characters, like top tier characters? My man went out on a murdering spree throughout Midgard, Shinra, and even hit one of the most beloved characters in the whole series, all with a clown-like comically large sword. But we can't talk Sephiroth here without getting to Cloud. Now Cloud, as a kid I thought he was cool. But now, growing up, I'm starting to realize something about Cloud. He was an imposter the whole time. The biggest case of imposter syndrome, or what, I don't even know what syndrome, that he just fanficked his own life. And really, bro was a lame the whole time, and really, Tifa saw right through him since the beginning. I remember playing through the game for the first time and finding out that Cloud really wasn't top tier soldier material, and I was so embarrassed for my mans. Like, dude, like, what do you mean it didn't really happen? What do you mean you were a regular soldier that we've been mixing up this whole time, this whole playthrough? Yeah, so Cloud would have been S tier for me in the beginning, but he redeems himself in the end. But I have to knock him down to A because you forget that the Final Fantasy VII story was pretty long. So we spent a lot of time living in a lie that was Cloud's fanfic. And he was edgy at the same time. He was so edgy that he believed his own fan fiction of a backstory. Like, not gonna lie, bro, that's kind of weird. Not gonna lie. Hold up, we gotta add somebody to the list because I don't see them on this list. There we go. Now, if S is for Sephiroth, flip that S around and make the letter straight, and Z for Zack. It's like, no, I'm playing. That was lame. That was lame. But oh my gosh. Anyways, the next character is Zack. Zack is S and Cloud is A because Zack is everything Cloud wanted to be. He rightfully inherited the Buster Sword. He actually was class 1 soldier. He actually was top tier with Sephiroth, and that was also Aerith's main man. Like before even Cloud came into the picture, bro. And in the Final Fantasy VII remake, Zack lives, so Cloud might get his girl taken again? Hey man, that's a shame, bro. Zack is everything Cloud wanted to be without all of the, standoffish, cold, and I'ma treat everybody bad type of mentality. And if Zack and Cloud were to box one-on-one, Zack would come out on top every time. And I wonder if Zack is gonna ask for his sword back. For real though, I would. Couldn't be me though. Now, we are forgetting one character that also came out as non-playable in the remake part 2, but nobody's making an uproar about this guy. And we have a top heavy tier list right now. So we got to bring it down a little bit, right? And I'm going to bring it down just a little bit by putting C. C is for Sid. Sid is cool, right? Like, he comes in a little bit late. Apparently he's going to be in part 2 of the remake, which makes me question how much of the story is part 2 going to cover, because if I remember correctly, Sid was pretty late in the game. I mean, Sid was pretty cool. He was ambitious, and then he turned into like a depressed chain smoker after his funding got cut for his spaceship, or whatever that was. Good talk. And we got to bring down this list. We got to bring this list down a little bit further too, because Cait Sith. Oh my gosh. C is not for Cait Sith. Hold up. Cait Sith, scum of the earth. If you don't remember Cait Sith, I remember not playing Final Fantasy VII after a while, and they were like, Cait Sith, and then they were like, the cat, like, who is Cait Sith? Why can't I remember? Because Cait Sith is in all of these cast of characters, Cait Sith is one of the worst characters ever. Spoiler alert for the original game, Cait Sith betrays everybody. He straight up betrays everybody in like the most. He gives the black materia to Sephiroth, and the black materia is like the functional part. He wasn't even a snitch. He was like an op on your own team, bro. Like, he was doing the dirtiest work out here, I'm trying to tell you. You met him in the Gold Saucer. He's not that nice. He's not that nice of a character. He's not that, like, great of a character in the party. Cait Sith is like dating somebody who's like, you're in a different league than, you're just giving them a shot, and then they ended up like cheating on you and doing you dirty in the worst possible way. And then you're left like, what the hell was even that? Aerith. It's kind of funny how I put Cloud in between Tifa and Aerith. I'm just now realizing that. The love triangle continues! And Cloud is too busy fanficking how his bulging muscles and his supreme class. That's like me getting cut from the basketball team, which I actually did, and then lying to girls and telling them that I was a D1 hooper. And then I lied so much that I just started believing my own lies. He was the cause of his own existential crisis. But anyways, we're laying off a Cloud. Aerith was pretty cool. I mean, she was a part ancient, part human, so she was very integral to the story. She kept one of the most important materia in her hair and forgot about it, even though we was struggling all game. Her death was a surprise when it came around the first time, but I was -5 years old when her death came around the first time, so I knew that she was gonna die in the story. I knew that she was gonna die in the story when I played it for the first time, but I didn't think that she would stay dead. There was always something in my head. Maybe it was my naive, childlike brain that thought that Aerith could come back, but you know, she never does. In the remakes, it seems like she never died. She might not die. Who knows? Who knows what they're gonna retcon, and who knows what they're gonna do? Don't blame me, I'm just a messenger. But yeah, Aerith's character kind of go hard. She's an A grade healer, very important to the team, and you feel her death in her absence because then most likely you have to choose another party member. Well, she kind of leaves before, but still, she was very important to the party. And not Cloud, because Cloud is a real fallen. He's a walking fallen soldier. But enough of clowning on Cloud. Stop clowning on Cloud. Hojo, one of the Hojo is one of the, like, he's not the main villain, he's not the A villain. Sephiroth is the A villain. Hojo is like the super annoying villain that just makes incomprehensibly stupid decisions. And you belong in D. Yes, that's where you belong. If you don't remember Hojo, he basically injected everybody but himself with the Geneva stuff, and he injected, I know he injected Red 13. I think he injected Cloud and Zack, I think. Sephiroth, yeah, he created Sephiroth. Next up is Barrett. Barrett, the only brother in all of Final Fantasy. I can't think of another black person in Final Fantasy. And let me tell you, Barrett was a stereotypical brother too. Barrett was a very typical black, angry black man. But you could go with a date on him. You can go on a date with him in the gold saucer, which people love to call back to. I actually used Barrett as my healer when I think Aerith was gone. So that worked, I guess, a little bit. His Gatling gun was pretty cool. I'm not gonna keep him in A, I'm just putting him in there. B, putting Barrett on the same level as Red 13 and Vincent Valentine works for me. Having him in B, technically, it kind of feels weird, but you know, B is for Barrett. Cool character, not my first option, or really my second, or really my third if we're going by the main characters. And Scum of the Earth. All right, I think this is a pretty good tier list. I had to add Zack in there myself because he was an important character that I feel like I couldn't miss. There are so many characters in Final Fantasy VII. I knew I couldn't get to them all, but I think this is pretty comprehensive of the main characters. I'm super excited for the remake to come out, for the remake part 2 to come out. I will not be playing it. I won't, because I like the JRPG aspect of Final Fantasy VII, and you know, that's long gone now. I like keeping up with the new story. I like looking at all the character designs and bringing something that was, you know, blocky and all polygons. They brought it to life in a very spectacular way. So I'm gonna watch it, but in terms of actually playing it, you know, I might not play it, but I'm super excited for it. So yeah, this is my tier list for Final Fantasy VII characters. I mean, this is, I'm gonna say this. Ow, my finger! Oh, my finger! I sat on my finger, but vertically. Oh my gosh. All right, everybody. I gotta go to the ER now. So no, I might not have to. Spread love, give inspiration in all you do, and peace out. Gosh.
Welcome to the Clinic Show. Take 2.